Today we're doing the oldest number system in the world, Babylonian cuneiform numbers. So the system of writing things down emerged around about 3000 BC, but I'm going to sort of speed forward to about 2000 BC when the number system was already kind of in fully functioning order and kind of worked. And pretty much the oldest kind of mathematical tablets that we have are from that period. And you call that Babylon, so it's the kind of civilization that kind of came on after Sumer. It was used over a period of 3000 years. So it's actually the writing system and number system that has been used for the longest period of time, much more than the Latin alphabet or Roman numerals or Arabic numerals. So in terms of, say, what you call civilization, since the early civilizations, it's been used for 2/3 really of human history.
I wonder if ours will ever overtake it, or something else will come along. Or I wonder if ours will ever become the title holder.
Well, Arabic numerals. Well, you could argue that hexadecimal or even base 2 has really overtaken it because we live in a world of computers and that's how computers work. The number system uses only 2 types of wedge. One is this. That's 1. 2 is another one. 3, that's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 to 9, you're just adding. It's quite like Roman numerals, but you're just keeping on adding the same digits. But when you get to 10, you use this. I'm going to turn this over, and you use the other sort of horizontal and use that. So that's 10. And you want to carry on counting, you'd go back to the vertical, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 would be, sorry, whoops.
2 horizontals.
2 horizontals. So we keep on going, you go to 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. And can you guess what 60 is?
Well, I would have thought it would be 6 horizontals.
You fell into my trap. You fell into my trap. This is 60 because you're starting off with a system which is adding new symbols, which is just like Roman, but it also had a positional element. And when you get to 60, you move along. So this should be a 0 here, but the problem with the Babylonians, they didn't have a symbol for 0. Later on, they invented a kind of symbol for 0, but actually they never used it in a case like this. So that is 60. 61 is this. 62, 63. Actually, say it's better. 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and 70. Can I use that? But yeah, 70 would be a 160 and a 10. It's called a sexagesimal system, i.e. base 60. You've got this column, it counts up to 60, and then this one here, whatever you have in there, you multiply by 60. So actually, just say you wanted to go further on, that number there is 3,661.
If you wanted to do 3,671, you'd put like a...
Yeah, that would have...
a 10 in there.
10 would go here.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to put a 10 here, that would mean you have to times 60 by 11, which is 660. So that would be 3,600 plus 660 plus 11.
How would you write 3,601? Do you have to have like a space in that column?
Yes, so that the Babylonians required a symbol for 0 for when there was nothing in that column.
Yeah.
And eventually they started to use 2 diagonals, basically like that, 2 diagonals. That would be 3,601 with the 2 diagonals to indicate nothing in the middle. This only occurred in later Babylonian mathematical texts. And also, they never used it at either side. So you couldn't tell the difference between sort of 110 and 1100, for example, and just 11. but they did use it as a marker to separate middle columns. So you've got this really interesting combination of a positional system and a sort of non-positional system. And you might think, well, isn't that complicated? It might look complicated. Actually, for doing maths, it's really good, and it's much, much better than the Roman system. With the Roman system, you get up to m, that's 1,000. And then if you want to get more than 1,000, you just keep on doing m's. M's forever. Whereas here, if you want to get bigger, you just need to go to one new column and then you get the next multiple of 60 up. So you can actually get very quickly to really high numbers, but also you can go the other way, like the decimal point. If you were to put a 1 here, that would be 1/60th. And if you were to put 1 next to that, that would be 1/3600th. It's very good at getting big numbers, very good at dividing into small numbers, much better because the Romans, they use kind of fractions. It's really complicated and difficult to do. Whereas this, you could do very well, and it is no coincidence the Babylonians were the best astronomers of their age, by far. And one of the reasons is that they had a much, much better number system they could use to do it. And in fact, they were so good that you might have thought, well, why 60? 60 sounds familiar. The reason why we still use base 60 when talking about the time, so 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, is that 60 was the number chosen as the base by the Babylonians right at the beginning. And it's because of all their kind of stargazing, etc., that even though the Greeks had a different number system than the Romans did, they just kept the base 60 when talking about time.